my name is SubZeroExtabyte and I am shooting right back at you with another video. Today is going to be a fun video and it is going to be very special. We are going to have a lot of fun, and by that I mean that we're going to try and build a new house that might not sound that special, but I can promise you that it is going to be very special. Now this is going to be a new experience for me because I have not tried this in forever, so please just hang on tightly so we can start and have some fun. Now we have been launched into the world of Minecraft, but of course that is something that you guys already knew, right? Well, right now we are inside of the sea heading to a mountain. I mean, who of you guys can honestly say that they have been around long enough to have played all of this? That is just the best thing ever, to be honest, but that might just be me. So right now actually we are getting right back into that nostalgic feeling again. I know that I have talked about this a lot lately, but this is just something that instantly gets me back into a younger Sub-Zero man. Now I really enjoyed playing the Minecraft a lot back in the day, and I wish that I could play it even more now. So that is one of the reasons why we are doing this today, just so that I can feel like a little kid again. I mean, it used to be kind of hard in Minecraft, starting out, and all of it used to be really hard in my opinion, but that might just be me, to be honest. Maybe I was just bad back then, or even now, but that would be kind of cool though. That would actually be really cool, to be honest. Then I could just be sitting here watching movies all day and just criticize and talk trash about the movies all I want. That would be really cool, I think. But then again, I know that I would be really biased to a lot of movies because there are just a lot of movies that I love and I really cannot get out of that, to be honest. That is probably just something that will stick with me for the rest of my life probably, and I would not think that I could go without any of the movies that I used to watch because they are just so good and I feel completed because of them. Now the first house I ever made was in a mountain, so that is what we are doing today. Now, as I always say when building a new house, and as you know, if you do not know where something is, then you cannot get to it and you cannot take anything out of said thing. Now that kind of worked, but that only solved one problem. And do not get me wrong, it did actually solve the problem with people stealing stuff out of my chest, but it did not solve the problem where people were still coming into my house every other freaking day. So today I am going to be combining these two ideas of mine. One is the hiding part, and two is the house part. So since hiding the chests of mine worked out well, I have decided to go out and make my house the same way. I am just going to be building a house that is not like any other house, just so that I can make sure that I do not end up getting swatted and stuff like that ever again. Not that I have ever been swatted, but that was just metaphorically. Now we cannot just hide a house. We have to make this some kind of way where it is just going to be camouflaged really well within the environment. So we will have to make it blend in well, and what better way to do this than to just build the house inside of a mountain range? That is like the best idea that I have ever come up with right now. But first things first, I am already proud of the fact that I was able to get the idea from myself, which I had applied to the chest/stealing problem. So that was a pretty awesome thing, to be honest. But I was able to apply that same idea that I used on the chest problem, and I am going to be putting it to work with the housing problem that I have got right now. But I am just hoping that once I am done with all of this right here, that I can just live here in peace again. But something is telling me that this will not work out the way that I wanted it to. It is just something that I feel coming up. I mean, that does not mean that this is a bad thing. I mean, I would rather have things go wrong while I am in the beginning stages of building this, because otherwise I would have to start all over again when I am almost done. But that is not something that I want to do right now. So I am just praying to the gods that this will actually work in one go and that I can finally have a good night of sleep again, because the last time that I did not have an interrupted sleep is like months ago. I mean, since these guys found out that they could just storm into my realm, they just literally started taking full advantage of it, and I hate it. I mean, how annoying is it when you get woken up every day at like 3 o'clock in the morning just because some noob is bashing at your door? I can honestly tell you that this is not a very fun and exciting thing to be doing, but I guess that I will just have to go through with this right now, because otherwise I will definitely never have another good night of sleep. I mean, come on. It just feels like every day is getting worse right now. I mean, I already do not get enough sleep, and you should be getting enough sleep in order for your brains to be working properly. And right now I am thinking of a way to get all of this over with, and I am on just a couple of hours of sleep, and that is just not something that will work for me right now. I mean, it is the harsh truth at this point, but it is just something that I will have to cope with until everything right here has all been sorted out. I just feel that it keeps you guys on your feet. and at the edge of your seats every time that you are watching one of my videos. That is not too weird now, is it? Okay, it actually might be, but let's just forget about that because that is not something that I want to do. And you know why? Because that is not something that makes me feel nostalgic at all, and I know that this sounds rather obvious of course, but right now I am just falling in on all of that. I mean, I just want to keep this all on the down low a little right now, because I just want to feel that one thing that will actually make me feel the most nostalgic of all of these things, and that might actually be really hard to do right now. But I feel like that has been my main goal for this video, so if I do not succeed in that, well then what would that make me in the first place? I mean, there is nothing that I can do that will actually make it feel like something that is nostalgic, but I will find that nostalgic bomb feeling. I mean, that is why I am here. So I will do everything in my power to feel that again. Now, to be really honest with you guys, it feels actually really good to be back right now. I mean, this is like the most fun that I have ever had as a kid, and to just be back now and to be able to relive all of that is just amazing. I mean, I keep talking about nostalgia and all of that, but I just feel like this is amazing. And to be honest, sometimes I really just wish that I could be a kid forever and not care about anything in life than just fooling and playing around. Of course, becoming an adult and growing up has its perks, I guess, but I just really miss playing outside and having fun with my buddies when playing hide and go seek all summer long. I mean, for me that was just the real deal, and maybe I just feel like I kind of wasted all of that a little. Because when you are younger, all you want to do is just grow up and grow old. I mean, right now, I feel like I am growing old, but I will probably never grow up. I will always be that little kid running around on the streets, on the inside at least. On the outside, well, not so much, but that does not matter. Probably the only real thing that matters right now is that we are out here playing something that used to just fuel me for nights on end. I could just play this all day. I remember going to high school and getting my first notebook there because I had to get that for the classes that I had to follow. We had to buy one of those fancy new MacBooks and stuff. Not that we use them that much, so it was pretty much just a monumental waste of money. But at least I got to play Minecraft on there for the first time ever. And right now you might be like, wait, you only got your first notebook when you got into high school? Well, yeah. I mean, times have changed, I guess, and back then you did not have that much tech, to be honest. Everyone was still rocking the Apple iPods and stuff like that. It was pretty lit, to be honest, but like I said, it was a different time. And yes, Minecraft did not really exist before I went to high school. At least before that time it was not really on my radar because I was too busy playing Call of Duty on my Xbox back then, which was also a great way to waste away. So I am just going to be hoping that this mountain range approach to my house actually works. Otherwise, like I just said, I am going to be a dead man. Okay, maybe not a dead man because it is not like the noobs are that violent, but I am just going to be making sure that once I get this done that I am going to go right back to bed for like a week, because right now I actually am kind of a dead man when it comes to this. I mean, there is no such thing as getting too much sleep for me right now, because right now it just feels like I am not even doing anything anymore. All day long I am just roaming around my house and stuff without a thought, and I am just so tired that I have got no idea what to go do. But then when I think that I might be able to go to bed, and the second that my head hits my pillowcase, there is another person at my door and I have got to get up again to be able to defend the fort. I mean, there is not worse feeling than this. And you might be like, well, Sub, you are overreacting. Well, I might be overreacting, but I just cannot stand this anymore. It just feels like I am getting crowded in my mind and I cannot handle it for one single bit right now. So once I am done with all of this, I am just going to check out for how long I can sleep in one sitting. And I am betting that it will be a very long time before I actually get back to being in an awake state. So you could kind of say that once I am done with sleeping, I am woke again. And that would be making me a woke person. That is like insane. But right now my sleep deprived self is starting to get into something right here. Maybe building a house like this is not the best thing to do. I mean, right now I am just throwing everything on defense. But we all know that offense is the best defense. So maybe I should just be getting smart on the ways of the noob and make sure that I am able to get behind them knowledge-wise. I will have to figure out exactly what those people do and how they operate in a non-hostile environment before it gets hostile, of course, because they always get get hostile no matter what we do about something like that anyway. But of course none of that has anything to do with me being inside of this mountain range. But then when you look at it from another angle, it kind of has everything to do with me being inside of this mountain, because I am trying to get my life back on the rails. Literally. That was a joke and a pun in once, because we all know that I will probably never get my life together, but at least we have each other and we can do all of this together. So that is why I want to be right here right now with you guys, so that I can have all of the things that I love within a hand's reach. And that is kind of cool, because that would mean that I do no longer have to go and travel from Roblox to Minecraft, and of course from Minecraft to Roblox. But it was just insane to me that we have got all of this down right now, and right now we can actually start to think about settling down and start taking it slow for a while. But I am still considering that fact, and it is nothing more than a consideration, so do not start yelling at me, because I will still be here for all of you to comfort you in sad times. And right now is not a sad time, because my house is actually looking pretty fly for a white guy. And what do you guys think about this right here? This looks pretty cool, right? So right now I can actually have a cool view from the top of my house when I am doing a parkour. But of course this is just a little training stuff so that I can become even better when I can just practice whenever I want. So that is pretty cool if you ask me, and especially if you know the meaning behind all of this. Because right now I have pretty much put my new house as a center point, or a focal point of the house, if that makes sense. And that is because this new house is a beginning of something new, something a lot better than what it used to be, and that is a good thing whether you believe in it or not. I mean, who would not be ready for all of this, right? I know that I am pretty hyped for when I can start doing all of this and never have to worry about anything anymore, so I can just do whatever I want all day long. I mean, I could be working all day, and I could be recording all day, or maybe I could just be laying in my bed all day while I am watching my brand new super fat TV, and that would be cool too, because this is the new me, and I am loving it already. And you know what? Maybe I will be just laying in my bed all day and watching the 4K remaster of the awesome, and by awesome I mean really awesome, Breaking Bad. I mean, who would not want to spend his or her whole day just laying in a bed while watching a Breaking Bad 4K remaster? That is like watching something so cool. But then you are not just watching it, but you are watching it in 4K, which makes it like 4,000 times cooler than it already is. Actually, it would make it like only twice as cool, or 4 times as cool. I am not sure, because math is not my strong suit, but I know that it has to be somewhere around 2 times as good as full HD or 4 times as good as full HD. But all of that is besides the point, because Breaking Bad is already awesome on its own in just full HD, and I am loving every bit of it. Now of course I could have just gone with that secret room thing that we built a couple of weeks ago, but that did not work out all too well. But keep an eye out when watching this video right now, because this might be coming in handy once upon a time, and I hope that whenever you would be needing something like this, that you are able to say that you have paid enough attention to this video to actually get something done for yourself. Now you might be asking, well Sub, what are you going to be building that is so amazing then? Well, let me tell you this real quick. A noob cannot bother you if a noob does not see you. So actually when I started thinking of this, I actually started with a couple of things. So first things first, we need to be able to make something that will keep the noobs from seeing us. So that is when my mind instantly turned to the way that Harry Potter was able to hide himself in a lot of places. So he had his cloak of invincibility. Now I am not a scientist and I am not a magic person, so that idea got thrown out of the window pretty early, which was quite the bummer for me. So alright, as you may have seen right there, the house is done, and this house is going to allow me to just pass through life, and it will not let anyone else see me, so that is really cool. And of course no one will notice that this thing is there, because like I said, no one is going to just be running into a mountain without knowing that there is some kind of house behind that mountain. So that is kind of my new cover up right now. I am just hiding in plain sight. That is why the wall/pillar on that train station in London works that well. I mean, who is going to suspect some random wall for something like that? I mean, no one is just going to take their cart and run into a pillar like that. So I mean, all of those people that work in the wizarding world have got all of their secret and magic stuff figured out really well. But that is kind of all that I have got for you guys for today. I mean, it has been a good one and I have enjoyed me stay with you guys very much, but it is time for me to head back out and hope that no one finds me. But I guess no one will find me, because who will go look for a house in the mountains, right? I mean, if I was a traveler or something like that, I would not go into the mountains looking for Sub or a house that he owns. I mean, who would do that, right? So I will see you guys in the next one.